Hi everyone, how you doing? I hope you've had a lovely, lovely Mother's Day and I hope you've been really good to your mummies today. Thank you for my lovely, lovely gifts. I've so enjoyed them. I've got handprints on my top from Atty and Torben. I'm going to wear my other top from you, Ruby, and Max tomorrow. And I've already filled up my makeup bag, Ruby. That's amazing. And I'm going to eat my chocolates. And I've been looking at my flowers. So thank you so much for everything. It's been beautiful. So tonight's story is going to be called The Seven Crosspatches. So if you're sitting comfortably, then I'll begin. Once upon a time there were 7 crosspatches who caught a little pixie and made him their servant. How hard he had to work for them. He didn't like the crosspatches one little bit because they were just like their name. They were cross old dames. And they made their money by selling spells and magic. They all lived together in a tiny cottage which had 2 rooms. There were 7 chairs and a table in one room and 7 small beds in the other. Scurry the pixie was kept busy each day making the 7 beds and polishing the 7 chairs and doing all the cooking for the 7 crosspatches. They were always cross at him and were always told him off. "You're 1 minute late with our dinner," one would say to him angrily. "You've not dusted under my bed properly," another would say. "You've not wound up the clock," the third would say, and the others would chime in too, each taking their turn at scolding poor Scurry. When spring cleaning time came, he was quite tired out. He had to wash all the curtains, all the blankets, all the sheets, and all the tablecloths. He had to whitewash the house outside and in, and he had to sweep 2 chimneys. The crosspatches kept him hard at work, morning till night. But he didn't beat the carpets. The magic spells that the old dames were always making made terrible dust, and because it was magic dust, it made Scurry sneeze and sneeze without stopping and gave him most horrible magic cold. "I'm not going to beat the carpets," he thought. "I shake them every week and that's enough. Let's hope the old crosspatches won't know they've been beaten." But they did know, of course, and they were angry. "You'll take up each of our 7 carpets tomorrow and you'll hang them on the line and you'll beat them," they said crossly. "But I shall get a magic cold and sneeze all day long without stopping," said Scurry. "And that's very tiring." "You can sneeze for a month for all we care," cried the crosspatches. "Now, make sure you see that every single speck of dust is beaten out of those carpets tomorrow." Well, the crosspatches went out the next day because they didn't want to be in the middle of the carpet dust. Scurry took all the carpets and hung them on the line in a row. It made him feel very gloomy. He began to beat one and his arms soon ached badly. And then an idea came to him. He would pretend he was slapping one of the crosspatches. Everyone wanted to do that because the 7 old dames were mean and bad-tempered and selfish. He fetched a piece of chalk, he drew one of the crosspatches on a carpet and put a pointed hat on her head. He laughed because he really had drawn her very well indeed. "I think I'll draw a crosspatch on each of the carpets," he thought. "Yes, I will. Now this will be the crosspatch that wears the 2-pointed hat. And then I'll draw the one that wears the 3-pointed hat. And then the one with the red nose in her bonnet, and the one with 2 and one with 3, and last of all the crosspatch that wears neither hat nor bonnet, but has her hair flying loose." So he drew a crosspatch on each carpet. My, they did look funny. Then Scurry took up the carpet beater and began to slap the first crosspatch hard. "That's for all your bad temper," he panted, and he slapped the carpet with a drawing of a crosspatch on it. "And that's for all your unkindness." Presently 2 of the 3 of the village pixies came along and looked over the wall at what Scurry was doing. "Goodness, wouldn't I like to slap all at those horrid crosspatches," said one. "The one with the 2-pointed hat that boxed my ears for nothing the other day." Scurry was tired and out of breath. He looked round at the pixie and grinned. "Well," he panted, "if you want a good old smack at the 2nd crosspatch, pay me a penny and you can have as many as you like." The pixie hopped over the wall at once and paid his penny, and then with a grin he took the carpet beater and hit the carpet hard. The one with the drawing of the crosspatch wearing the 2-pointed hat. "That's for boxing my ears," he panted, And that's for scolding my little sister and frightening her so much. I say, let's have a turn too, cried the next pixie, scrambling over the wall. I'd like to beat the last crosspatch, the one who wears her hair loose. She lost her temper with me the other day and stamped all around my garden, trampling my flowers. He paid a penny to Scurry, who was beginning to feel very pleased with himself. He sat well back on the wall, right out of the way of the dust, and soon the other pixies came along and gazed in delight at the two who were slapping away at the carpet on which he'd chalked everyone disliked so much. Pennies poured into Scurry's purse, and one after another the pixies came and had a good slap at the hated crosspatches. Bang, 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 biff, biff, slap, slap, slap. Take that, you horrible, nasty, unkind crosspatch. That's for cheating me out of a whole silver piece the other day. That's for selling me a bad spell that didn't work. That's for making my hens stop laying. All day long the beating went on, and soon there was not a single scrap of dust left on the carpets. Not one scrap. It was wonderful. Scurry's purse was quite full of money. He looked at it. He'd never had so much money in his entire life. When the night came, the pixies went home. He was pleased. They didn't hate the crosspatches quite so much that they had slapped at them on the carpets, and they didn't like hating anyone. It was a nasty, horrible feeling. They felt much better now. The 7 crosspatches came home and went to bed. Next morning they dragged out their 7 carpets to see if Scurry had beaten them well. There was not one speck of dust on any of them. But the thing was that Scurry wasn't sneezing as he usually did when he'd beaten the carpets. How did you manage to beat the carpets so well? Asked the first crosspatch, the one with the pointed hat. I didn't, said Scurry. I got the pixies from the village to beat them for me. They even paid me for letting me beat your carpets. Don't talk nonsense, said the crosspatch with one with a red rose in her bonnet. Why should the pixies pay you for doing your work? Well, you are sure to hear about it, so I suppose I'd better tell you myself, said Scurry. I drew a picture of each of you on the carpets, and the pixies from the village were quite willing to pay me a penny after that to beat you on the carpet. They don't like you very much, as you can guess. How dare you? How dare you? Cried all the crosspatches together. We'll turn you into a black beetle. You won't, cried Scurry, running to the door, jingling his money. I'm rich now, I'm running away. Goodbye, and be careful, crosspatches. It's unlucky to be hated as much as you are. Be careful. The crosspatches couldn't catch him because he ran so fast. They looked carefully at their 7 carpets. Yes, they could quite well see the outline of 7 pictures that Scurry had drawn there. Dear me, said the first crosspatch. Fancy all the villagers paying to come and beat us on our carpets. Perhaps we've been a bit too hard with the pixies. Perhaps we'd better be a little bit more careful now. Yes, said the second crosspatch, because if not, they might come to our house and really beat us. So they were much nicer after that. And as for Scurry, he was so pleased with himself for being able to draw such good pictures that he set himself up as a painter in the woods. In the winter, he helps Jack Frost to decorate your windows at night. He does all the funny little twiddly bits. Look out for them, won't you? Oh, that was good, wasn't it? I hope you enjoyed that. I did, and I will read you again. I'll see you again tomorrow. So sleep well and be really, really good. And I love you, Ruby and Max. And I love you, Attie and Torby. So be really good, and I'll see you again tomorrow.